Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on. No, that's the wrong one. Super. Oh, wait. No, that's wrong too. Hang on. So I have to go back and check. Yep, that's fine. Okay, good. So professional. I'm such a good high-tech pro streamer. Check me out. Yeah. Hey, everyone. How you doing? Good morning. From my perspective, it's good morning. I don't know when you're watching this. Through the magic of technology, you can watch this whenever you want. How amazing. But you can only comment now. If you're writing comments in the future, I can't see you. I don't have a time machine on my tablet. I'm sorry. So, yesterday I should have been working hard on all of this stuff, but instead I decided to have my birthday. So I'm now 48 years old, and yes, I did get some cool presents. Thank you very much. My wife got me a lovely bottle of local Okayama sake, and a remote control car, which I have wanted since I was a tiny little child. But you know, we couldn't afford that sort of thing when I was a kid. But now I've got one, and I'm looking at it right now, and it's super cool. And it's got a camera on top, so you can look forward to pointless videos of me driving around doing stuff with my car that that no one will watch. That'll be great. So today we have some very specific work that we're trying to do. And that is chapter 5 is assembled. Okay, we are looking for equalization of the sound. If you can hear, here's a bit of Mina.
From Jonathan from Transylvania.
And here's some Lucy.
I do. And I can tell you it is not a bad study.
Okay, and here's the boys.
He had evidently been
No, that's not the boys.
as he could.
No.
My manner of doing it.
There's the boys.
I now see something of cruelty.
It's a bit of Timbo. And there's some.
Warrant of lovemaking.
I know I ain't good enough to regulate the
Little bit of Quincy.
God has made
Some
his
more
best
Quincy.
work.
Right? There's
We
like
met sometime
it's not terrible or anything, but there's definitely a bit of a difference in the audio, and that is illegal in Steve Land. You have to have things sounding like it's the hardest part of my job when I'm doing a multicast audiobook, because you need everything to sound like it's everyone was recorded, you know, in the same room, preferably on the same day, you know what I mean, all of that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is a little bit of post-processing. Gonna do a little bit of the old EQ here.
17 Chatham Street, Wednesday. My dearest Mina, I must say you tax me very unfairly with being a bad correspondent. I wrote you twice since we parted, and your last letter was only your second. Besides, I have nothing to tell you.
Oh yes.
There's really nothing to...
There we go. See, it doesn't need massive changes, but what it did need was some advice from Maciej, our Polish editor and sound guru. I sent the compiled Dracula off to him over the weekend, and had him listen to it and send back a bit of feedback, and he did so. And I am now following his instructions. Now, Lucy was pretty easy. Mina is a bit more of a challenge.
Stenograph well enough. I can take down what he wants to say.
What I want you to listen to here, or listen for, is the echo.
Stenograph well enough. I can take down what he wants to say in this way and write it out for him on the typewriter.
Right, can you hear that?
Stenograph well enough. I can take down what he wants to say in this way and write it out for him on the typewriter.
Now, there is almost nothing that we can do about that, unfortunately, because reasons. I don't know. You'd have to talk to Mache about why, but yeah, without like seriously degrading audio quality, there's very little that can be done. So again, we're just going to play around with the EQ a little bit.
Stenograph well enough. I can take down what he wants to say in this
Right,
way
we've
and
pumped
write
the
it out
bass
for him
just a
on
bit.
typewriter, at which
Never
point
down
he
here.
will
Never
very
down
well.
here. That's just a distortion knob, essentially. If you turn that up,
He's keeping a
it's just going to
stenographic
distort
journal
really
as he
hard.
travels abroad.
That is almost the same. Here you can start really boosting it.
One of those 2 pages to the
We
weekly
kill the
science
mid-range a little
stories
bit.
and corner diaries.
Leave most of the treble. I do like to kill this absolute top end, because that almost just sounds like a hiss to me, you know?
I may show it to Jonathan someday if there is
That
any
just
reason.
sounds a bit warmer, a bit nicer, you know what I mean? So we save that. Yes, once my hard drive lets me do it. Now also, Quincy, not Percy, Quincy, is a little bit muddy. Here we go. We'll play this and we'll see if you can hear what I mean.
I should not be here speaking to you as I am now.
Alright, can you hear like the excessive bass on the low end of that?
I should not be here speaking to you as I am now if I did not believe you clean grit.
Now it does actually sound quite nice. It hits your ear pleasantly, but with that much bass in the sound, it will, like, the volume will change enormously over, depending on whether they're listening on speakers or headphones or over a phone or a PC or whatever, right? So you have to sort of kill a little bit of that, make it a little bit less muddy. Can we have a reset? There we go.
Miss Lucy,
So this is how it sounds
I
now.
know I ain't good
I'm gonna
enough
kill a
to
little bit of
regulate
that.
the fixings of your little shoes. But I guess if you wait till you find a man, that is, you will go join them 7 young women with the lamps when you quit. Won't you just hitch up alongside of me and let us go down the long road?
There
together,
we
driving in the
go. Ah, isn't that nice? That's nice. That's nice. I hate having to wait for my external hard drive to save these things, but and that's just how it goes. Okay, so that's done and saved, and Tim, as always, is fine, absolutely perfect. Excuse me. Tim playing Dr. Seward, of course, who is the lead male character in this book. And it's about time we gave Tim a lead, huh? After his great work in 1984. But because of the pitch of his voice, he will never sound too muddy, and his voice always comes across nice and clean.
He is so quaint that I am determined to understand him as well as I can.
It's perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now that we've done that, blimp, blimp, blimp. See, it adjusts all those files there. Alright, and then we normalize all peaks to -1. Thank you. There we go. We'll do that with my little heading pieces as well. Is that my heading?
Chapter 5.
Yes, it is. Okay, so that's me basically. That's my row. And we will likewise normalize all peaks to -1. There we go. Lovely. Okay. You know what that means. It means we're ready to start the sound effects mix. Oh yeah! This is the fun bit, except in this chapter where it's actually going to be pretty difficult. Okay, so we pull them down. And we start pulling these up. Oh yes, oh yes. Now, this is quite difficult. Dracula in general is quite difficult because for the most part, in fact, I think all the way through, I'm casting my mind back, maybe it changes in like the last third or so of the book, but definitely for the vast majority of this book, it's written in the style of journal entries and letters, and like diary entries, that sort of thing. So putting the sound effects on, as far as action and stuff is concerned, is quite difficult because there's not a lot of action. They're just sitting in rooms writing to each other, but we can still do something about that.
Letter from Miss Mina Murray to Miss Lucy Westenra.
9 May. My dearest Lucy,
Right, now that still sounds a little bit echoey, but we can't do a lot about that. We just have to be content. So, I mean, there's the standard, isn't there, of the nice fireplace crackling in the background, which makes it sound, like a nice warm little warm room. I do enjoy it. And it's a fairly neutral sound, It doesn't necessarily place anyone anywhere. So we will use that. Maybe, I've never tried this before. Let's try normalizing the gain there. Normalize all the peaks and see what that happens. Because the problem with the fireplace sound effect is that it's very up and down, up and down. I mean, you can see, can't you? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. There's no sort of regular sound. I used it to great effect in Frankenstein, I think it was. But that was in combination with like the howling wind of the tundra behind it. That was a nice flat sound. Which meant the peaks and valleys of the fireplace was sort of okay, it was fine, it sounded fine. Anyway, here we go, let's see what we can do. So we need this, as usual. Play, please. Dash it all, I do hate this. I've had to move everything to an external hard drive due to a lack of storage space on my main drive. And it just puts an extra second or so before it can access my files. Very irritating. Alright, let's see how that sounds.
Miss Lucy Westenra.
9 May. My dearest Lucy, forgive my long delay in writing, but I've been simply overwhelmed with work.
We have a writing sound effect. How about that? We don't want it all the way through. That would just be irritating. But I bet... where did I put it? Things? Paper? Is that right? Yes, my awesome sound effects library, which is organized so very well. I have it separated between things and not things. That's... Brilliant, eh? Okay. Oh, we very briefly had a live viewer, and then they left when they realized how boring this job really is. And it is. Not a spectator sport. Okay.
9 May. My dearest Lucy, forgive my long delay in writing, but I've been simply overwhelmed with work. The life of an assistant schoolmistress is sometimes trying.
Just gonna delete that little bit. They're like tapping in the inkwell. And maybe, yeah, we'll drop this down because
I'm longing to be with you, and by the sea, where we...
Now, quite a few people think that Mina and Lucy may have been lesbian lovers. I don't think that's true. Because this was written by Bram Stoker, a massive racist and sexist. And I don't think he would have put that in his book, frankly. That's the only argument I have about that.
Forgive my long delay in writing, but I've been simply overwhelmed with work. The life of an assistant schoolmistress is sometimes trying. I'm longing to be with you, and by the sea, where we can talk together freely and build our castles in the air. I've been working very hard lately because I want to keep up with Jonathan's studies, and I've been practicing shorthand very assiduously. When we are married, I shall be able to be useful to Jonathan, and if I can stenograph well enough, I can take down what he wants to say in this way and write it out for him on the typewriter, at which I am also practicing very hard. He and I sometimes write letters in shorthand, and he is keeping a stenographic journal of his travels abroad. When I am with you, I shall keep a diary in the same way. I don't mean one of those 2 pages to the week with Sunday squeezed in a corner diaries, but a sort of journal which I can write in whatever I feel inclined. I do not suppose there will be much of interest to other people, but it is not intended for them. I may show it to Jonathan some day if there is in it anything worth sharing, but it really is an exercise book. I shall try to do what I see lady journalists do, interviewing and writing descriptions and trying to remember conversations. I'm told that with a little practice, one can remember all that goes on or that one hears said during a day. However, we shall see. I will tell you of my little plans when we meet. I've just had a few hurried lines from Jonathan from Transylvania. He is well and will be returning in about a week. I am longing to hear all his news. It must be nice to see strange countries. I wonder if Jonathan and I, shall ever see them together. There is the 10 o'clock bell ringing. Goodbye. Your loving Mina.
Right, the
Tell
10
me all
o'clock
the news.
bell. 10 o'clock bell. Maybe a distant church bell? It might be that. I don't know if I have something like that. Where are we? Alright. Oh no, it's just this one. Oh boy. Wait, I did have one somewhere because I used it in 1984. Yeah, I wonder where I might have put it. Bells, they're little ones, little handbells. Yep, that's just a tone. Church bells, look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10. And then it keeps going. 11, 12, 13 o'clock. That's where I stopped it in 1984. Ha 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 ha! Clever, eh? There was a cold, windy day. The clocks were striking 13 as Winston Smith did his poopy poo poo. Whatever he was doing, I can't quite remember. Okay, now you're going to have to be very quiet. Ooh, you know what? As well as that, I might do something a bit clever. I know, I can occasionally do things that are a little bit clever. Where is it? Low pass filter, I think. Ah, gosh. Is that it? There. There. Sounds like a distant and in the outside now, doesn't it? Gosh, so clever. We're in H. Yeah, let's back up. Sound effects. It was in things, wasn't it? Church bell, church bell. Distant. There we are. Wonderful. No, thank you. Church bell's distant. Marvelous. Marvelous.
He is well and will be returning in about a week. I am longing to hear all his news. It must be nice to see strange countries.
I think a little bit slower, lower, and deeper as well. Let's try this.
I wonder if I mean Jonathan and I, shall ever
Yes.
see them together. There is the 10 o'clock bell ringing. Goodbye, your loving Mina. Tell me all the news when you write. You have not told me anything for a long time. I hear rumours, and especially of a tall, handsome, curly-haired man.
Ah, Jen, she's such a good actor. She's so good. I'm so lucky to have the cast that I've got, you know?
Curly-haired man?
Oops. Let's trim that down just a bit more extreme, thank you.
Head man?
Let
Okay, so all of them, I think, should be... Okay, because that's the fireplace, and that's that writing sound. The writing sound can stop right there, I think. There we go. Ooh, you know what? That would be quite cool. If we go back here, things, paper, writings, Lurda. Right, there was a noise that I tried to get rid of.
letter. Lucy.
There we go. It's right at the start there, just tapping on the old inkwell. That's what's going on there. And we'll... Oops. Fade it out. I'm going to fade that out and then delete it. Now.
Curly-haired man?
Letter.
No. Didn't work. Tried it, didn't work. Okay, that we want quite an abrupt.
Man?
Letter.
No, that the fireplace we want to extend a bit, not fade out quite so quickly.
Letter.
But it can start back there. And then maybe a more rounded fade.
Head man?
Letter. Lucy Westenra to Mina Murray.
Now, we're going to have Miss Lucy in like a town, I think. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Um,
17 Chatham Street, Wednesday.
oh, that sounds awful. Now let's just have the normal one.
Mina Murray.
17 Chatham Street.
Yeah.
Mina Murray.
17 Chatham Street, Wednesday. My dear...
Okay, so we're going to have that fade out until she starts talking.
Murray.
17 Chatham Street, Wednesday. My dearest Mina, I must say you tax me very unfairly with being a bad correspondent. I wrote you twice since we parted, and your last letter was only your second. Besides, I have nothing to tell you. There's really nothing to interest you. Town is very pleasant just now, and we go a great deal to picture galleries and for walks and rides in the park. As to the tall, curly-haired man, I suppose it was the one who was with me at the last pub. Someone has evidently...
It's going to add the writing sound underneath there. You know what would be great? If audio software was a bit more psychic and would know what I wanted to do when I was doing it.
17 Chartham Street, Wednesday. My dearest Mina, I must say you tax me very unfairly with being a bad correspondent. I wrote you twice since we parted.
What are you doing there, you mad thing? Boop, boop.
And
There
your
we go.
last letter was only your second. Besides, I have nothing to tell you. There's really nothing to interest you. Town is very pleasant just now, and we go a great deal to picture galleries and for
dropped
walks
my
and
mouse.
rides in the park.
There
As
we
to
go.
the tall, curly-haired man, I suppose it was the one who was with me at the last pop. Someone has evidently been telling tales. That was
I'll say one really good thing about living in Japan and having floors made of tatami mats. Nothing breaks. When you drop stuff on a tatami mat, nothing breaks. It's cool.
Mr. Holmwood. He often comes to see us, and he and Mama get on very well together. They have so many things to talk about in common.
And maybe he should marry your
He met some
mama.
time ago a man that would just do for you if you were not already engaged to Jonathan. He is an excellent parti, being handsome, well off, and of good birth. He is a doctor, and really clever. Just fancy, he is only 9 and 20, and he has an immense lunatic asylum all under his own care. Mr. Holmwood introduced him to me, and he called here to see us, and often comes now. I think he is one of the most resolute men I ever saw, and yet the most calm. He seems absolutely imperturbable. I can fancy what a wonderful power he must have over his patients. He has a curious habit of looking one straight in the face, as if trying to read one's thoughts. He tries this on very much with me, but I flatter myself he has got a tough nut to crack. I know that from my glass. Do you ever try to read your own face? I do, and I can tell you it is not a bad study, and gives you more trouble than you can well fancy if you have never tried it. He says that I afford him a curious psychological study, and I humbly think I do. I do not, as you know, take sufficient interest in dress to be able to describe the new fashions. Dress is a bore. That is slang again, but never mind. Arthur says that every day. There it is. All out,
Slang.
Mina. We have told all our secrets to each other since we were children. We have slept together and eaten together and...
So she's quite on about slang. It's like, oh, slang, it's improper English. Oh, how fancy. It's quite cool and hip. I don't know if I shall do it myself, but, you know, I do enjoy hearing other people do it. Bah! It's astounding. Like you can differentiate between one type of the English language and another. That'd be silly.
the letter. I don't want to stop, for I do so want to tell you all. Let me hear from you at once, and tell me all that you think about it.
Okay, now I have to do that with writing too. Should make a longer writing file. I mean, look, some of these are massive. I should do that. Okay, where was it? It was things, paper, writing louder. Oh, excuse me. Copy. X, even. 100, 100, thank you. There we go, let's check that. There we go. Just make little changes so that it sounds just a bit different every time. No. go, that's better. Yes, excellent. I'll copy all of that. Delete that horrid noise. Just I think that will work quite nicely. Yes, wonderful. Wonderful. 11 minutes. I think that's enough, right? Yes, we'll just save that. Make it a longer file. One of the things I do really like about Premiere Pro is that it never says, oh, you can't save that file, you're already using it, right? Because it's not actually the file sitting there, it's just like a shortcut pointing to the file. You know what I mean? It's very good. So you can adjust things on the fly as is necessary, which is marvelous. And I think I have to get over this little thing of mine. Because you don't have to do that, Stephen. Right? You can go. What I did, that old technique of like fading out this one and fading in this one and sort of layering them one under the other one. That's a very old technique that I used to use in different software. But I don't think I have to do that anymore. Let's check this transition.
You all. Let me hear from you
See, that's smooth as silk. Smooth as silk. You wouldn't hear a thing if you didn't know that was there. You wouldn't hear it at all. Wonderful.
at once, and tell me all that you think about it. Mina, pray for my happiness. Lucy. P.S. I need not tell you this is a secret. Good night again. L.
Okay. There we are. And now, from here, bloop, we can fade out to there.
L.
Letter.
Lovely. There we go. It's going nice and smooth now. We'll just save our work. Wonderful. Oh, this is good. The cast is going to be very happy. I had them basically pause on recording and sending me in their files because we were having such difficulty with the editing. But I think after listening to this, we can quite happily say, "Hey, start up again. We can solve these things. They are soluble problems, and this book will go ahead."
Lucy Westenra to Mina Murray.
24th of May.
Same sound effects as before. Yay! Right, but a lot longer, right? See that? Yes, this is some long stuff. But they are in the same, exactly the same spots. Now we see the glory of extending this sound effect. Perhaps I should do the same with... Oops. Oh, that's alright. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. We can stretch that out for the whole letter now. It was that short. Now it's super long. Look at that, look at that. And if you're very clever and cunning, you'll never pick this up with your ears, because I always do long loops. I cannot stand it when you go and find some, like you'll find this quite often on free sound effects sites and that sort of thing, where they're like, here's a 10-hour mix of just the ocean, listen to it, it's great. And you can clearly hear that it's like a 5-second loop that's just been copy and pasted for 10.5 hours. Why would you do? It's so bad. It's so terrible. You can pick up that pattern so easily. So I refuse to do that. there are some sound effects in my library where I've had to build from a very small sample, but there's things you can do. You don't just copy and paste and copy and paste. That's absurd. You can layer things. You can use different sections of even a very small sample to make it sound different to your ears. There is nothing worse than hearing a little loop in the background. Nothing will pull you out of a story faster than hearing a looped sound effect in the background. It's just terrible. It's really, really bad. Come on, guys. Get your shit together. Work properly. Try harder. You're not trying hard enough for my liking. And it's my liking that you should be concerned with. Yeah. Okay, so let's just make, while we're here, while we're doing this, we're going to take this sound effect and we're going to make a longer version. Now this, 2.5 minutes, is a pretty good sample size, okay? And it's all like there's a lot of mixing going on. This was some like reenactment town or something like that, I think it was. Check this out. Here we go. Even that, not great volume mix. So take from there. Okay, we're going to mix here. Little bit of a bump there, little bit of a bump. That's okay. Take it from home and then maybe pull it back a bit. Okay, try this. Come on, baby. Be good to me. Not bad. Yep, that's okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright. So let's take that. If you're finding a difficult edit point, find like a nice loud section and mix another nice loud section with it. They will blend together well. See, like, we know it's there, right? So you'll be able to hear it. Okay, there's a slight volume differentiation, but I promise you, to the listener that doesn't know that that's happening, that's invisible. It's inaudible. I promise you. I promise you. Here we go. Little experiment for you. Little exercise. Shut your eyes and tell me if you can hear where this change happens. I will tell you afterwards. Right, there it was a couple of seconds ago. Did you hear that? You probably did. But that's because you knew it was coming. Alright. Alright, yeah, that was a shitty exercise, wasn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It will work fine in the background, particularly because like the volume is low, it's generally mixed with other things, you know, it's fine, it's fine. And now, more importantly, we have a 13-minute version of this file. So we can just bloop. There we go. Look at that. Much better. Much better than blending smaller versions of it.
And Mina, I felt a sort of duty to tell him that there was someone.
Still a little bit of echo in Kira's voice. Still a bit of echo in Mina, but it's okay.
Only told
It's
him
okay.
that much, and then he stood up, and he looked very strong and very grave, as he took both my hands in his and said he hoped I would be happy, and that if I ever wanted a friend, I must count him one of my best. Mina dear, I can't help crying, and you must excuse this letter being all blotted. Being proposed to is all very nice and all that sort of thing, but It isn't at all a happy thing when you have to see a poor fellow whom you know loves you so honestly going away and looking all broken-hearted. And to know that, no matter what he might say at the moment, you are passing out of his life. My dear, I must stop here at present. I feel so miserable, though I am so happy. Evening.
Right. Now the sound effects don't change. But there are little breaks. So this is how I'm going to play with this. And you won't start till Miss Lucy starts writing again. There we go, okay.
I feel so miserable, though I am so happy.
That's going to be...
Although I am so happy. Evening. Arthur has just gone, and I feel in better spirits than when I left off, so I can go on telling you about the day. Well, my dear, number 2 came after lunch. He is such a nice fellow, an American from Texas, and he looks so young and so fresh that it seems almost impossible that he has been to so many places and has such adventures. I sympathize with poor Desdemona when she had such a stream poured in her ear, even by a black man.
Oh, I hate that line. I hate it so much. Bram Stoker's such a racist. He's talking about Othello there, one of the great Shakespearean plays. And it's just... Othello, the main character, is a black guy, of course. A Moor, as he's called in the play. And I mean, he's a great general. He's an accepted noble, you know, lauded and celebrated throughout his land. But not as far as Bram Stoker is concerned. He's just even a black man. Blah! God damn it. And he compounds his sin because his next line is really, really sexist. So he goes, oh, super racist, super sexist. Hi, I'm Bram Stoker. I'm a dick. But anyway.
Possible that he has been to so many places and has such adventures.
This is the problem with making old books. So, there you go.
Stream poured in her ear, even by a black man.
A black
I suppose
man?
that we women are such cowards that we think a man will save us from fears, and we'll marry him. I know now what I would do if I were a man and wanted to make a girl love me. No, I don't. For there was Mr. Morris telling us his stories, and Arthur never told any, and yet... My dear, I am somewhat previous. Mr. Quincy P. Morris found me alone. It seems that a man always does find a girl alone. No, he doesn't. For Arthur tried twice to make a chance, and I helping him all I could, I am not ashamed to say it now. I must tell you beforehand that Mr. Morris doesn't always speak slang. That is to say, he never does so to strangers or before them, for he is really well educated and has exquisite manners. But he found out that it amused me to hear him talk American slang. And whenever I was present and there was no one to be shocked, he said such funny things. I am afraid, my dear, he has to invent it all, for it fits exactly into whatever else he has to say. But this is a way slang has. I do not know myself if I shall ever speak slang. I do not know if Arthur likes it, as I have never heard him use any as yet. Well, Mr. Morris sat down beside me and looked as happy and jolly as he could, but I could see all the same that he was very nervous. He took my hands in his and said ever so sweetly,
Miss Lucy, I know I ain't good enough to regulate the fixings of your little shoes. But I
So
guess
much
if you
bass
wait
there,
till you
right?
Find a man, that is.
hands in his and said ever so sweetly,
So we're going to do some stuff to
Miss
this.
Lucy, I know I ain't good enough to regulate the fixings of your little shoes. But I guess if you wait till you find a man, that is, you will go join them 7 young women with the lamps when you quit. Won't you just hitch up alongside of me and let us go down the long road together, traveling in double harness?
well, he did look so good-humoured and so jolly that it...
Ah!
lamps when you quit. Won't you just hitch up alongside of me and let us go down the long road together, traveling in double harness?
Well, he
Okay, so just that bit, thank you. Let's do a little bit of equal. Yeah, plop, plop. There we go. Okay, so we drop that quite a lot. Drop that a bit.
Lamps when you quit. Won't you just hitch up alongside of me and let us go down the long road together, traveling in double harness?
Well, he did look so
There we
good-humoured
go.
and so jolly that it didn't seem half so hard to refuse him as it did poor Dr. Seward. So I said, as lightly as I could, that I did not know anything of hitching, and that I wasn't broken to harness at all yet. Then he said that he had spoken in a light manner, and he hoped that, if he had made a mistake in doing so on so grave, so momentous an occasion for him, I would forgive him. He really did look serious when he was saying it, and I couldn't help feeling a sort of exultation that he was number 2 in one day. And then, my dear, before I could say a word, he began pouring out a perfect torrent of love-making, laying his very heart and soul at my feet. He looked so earnest over it that I shall never again think that a man must be playful always, and never earnest, because he is merry at times. I suppose he saw something in my face which checked him, for he suddenly stopped and said with a sort of manly fervour that I could have loved him for if I had been free.
Lucy, you're an honest-hearted girl.
There we go.
Lucy. Lucy, you're an honest-hearted girl, I know. I should not be here speaking to you as I am now if I did not believe you clean grit right through to the very depths of your soul. Tell me, like one good fellow to another, is there anyone else that you care for? And if there is, I'll never trouble you a hair's breadth again, but will be, if you will let me, a very faithful friend.
My dear Mina,
Now, can I wonder, just put that there. No, I can't. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. I can do it again. Bloopy, bloopy, bloop. And a little bit more that mid-range there, I believe there was.
sort of manly fervour that I could have loved him for if I had been free.
Lucy, you're an honest-hearted girl, I know. I should not be here speaking to you as I am now if
Much
I did
better.
not believe you clean
There
grit
we go.
right through to the very depths of your soul. Tell me, like one good fellow to another, is there anyone else that you care for? And if there is, I'll never trouble you a hair's breadth again, but will be, if you will let me, a very faithful friend.
My dear Mina, why are men so noble when we women are so little worthy of them? Here
Ugh.
was I, almost making fun of this great-hearted, true gentleman.
More rancid
I burst
sexism
into
from
tears.
Stoker.
I'm afraid, my dear, you will think this a very sloppy letter in more ways than one, and I really felt very badly. Why can't they let a girl marry 3 men, or as many as want her, and save all this trouble? But this is heresy, and I must not say it. I am glad to say that, though I was crying, I was able to look into Mr. Morris's brave eyes, and I told him out straight. Yes, there is someone I love, though he has not told me yet that he even loves me. I was right to speak to him so frankly, for quite a light came to his face, and he put out both his hands and took mine. I think I put them into his, and said in a hearty way,
That's my brave girl. It's better worth being late for a chance of winning you than being in time for any other girl.
"One I love, though he has not told me yet that he even loves me." I was right to speak to him so frankly, for quite a light came to his face, and he put out both his hands and took mine. I think I put them into his, and said in a hearty way,
That's my
Sorry, just dealing with actors there, and forgot I was streaming, to be honest.
Brave girl.
Okay.
It's better worth being late for a chance of winning you than being in time for any other girl in the world. Don't cry, my dear. If it's for me, I'm a hard nut to crack, and I take it standing up. If that other fella doesn't know his happiness, well, you better look for it soon, or he'll have to deal with me. Little girl, your honesty and pluck have made me a friend, and that's rarer than a lover. It's more selfish, anyhow. My dear, I'm gonna have a pretty lonely walk between this and Kingdom Come. Won't you give me one kiss? It'll be something to keep off the darkness now and then. You can, if you like, for that other good fella, or you could not love him, hasn't spoken yet.
That quite.
Isn't it great that we've got Morgan Freeman to do this audiobook for us? He's not Morgan Freeman, of course. He just has a similar tone and timbre.
You can, if you like, for that other good fella, or you could not love him, hasn't spoken yet.
That quite won me, Mina. For it was brave and sweet of him, and noble too, to a rival, wasn't it? And he's so sad. So I leant over and kissed him. He stood up with my 2 hands in his, and as he looked down into my face, I am afraid I was blushing very much. He said,
Little girl, I hold your hand, and you've kissed me.
very much. He said, He said,
Little girl, I hold your hand, and you've kissed me. And if these things don't make us friends, nothing ever will. Thank you for your sweet honesty to me, and goodbye.
He wrung my hand.
One moment, sorry. All right. A little bit more trimmer true. At least we're getting used to where these things have to sit. Hello, can we play?
These things don't make us friends. Nothing ever will. Thank you for your sweet honesty to me, and goodbye.
He wrung my hand and, taking up his hat, went straight out of the room without looking back, without a tear or a quiver or a pause, and I am crying like a baby. Ugh. Why must a man like that be made
See,
unhappy
for
when
most
there are lots
of
girls
Quincy's
around him who
lines
work at the very
outside
ground trod
of
on?
Lucy's
I know
letters,
I would
it's
fight
absolutely
with him.
fine.
Only I
We
don't
adjusted
want
them
to be
en
free.
masse and it was
My
fine.
dear, this quite upset
But,
me. I feel I cannot.
For in the middle of Lucy's letters, we had to adjust bit by bit as we went along.
Right of happiness
It'll be
just
easier
two
from
months
here
after
on in.
telling you of it. And I don't wish to tell of the number 3.
Now that I know what is required with his recordings, it'll all be sweet.
Until it can all be happy. Ever your loving, Lucy.
Ever
Yes.
your lovin',
Oh,
Stevie.
about number 3. I needn't tell you about number 3, need I? Besides, it was all so confused. It seemed only a moment from his coming into the room till both his arms were round me and he was kissing me. I am very, very happy, and I don't know what I have done to deserve it. I must only try in the future to show that I am not ungrateful to God for all his goodness to me in sending to me such a lover, such a husband, and such a friend. Goodbye.
Ew. It is a note of personal craziness, I'm sure, but I have never liked the word lover. He's my lover. She's my lover. We are lovers. It's just gross. Gross. I don't know why. I just don't like it. That's just it. Maybe it's part of my age because it brings out like you know, when you're a kid or something, and some old couple in your apartment building is like, "Oh, we are lovers, and we've taken on outside lovers. We're all having lovers parties where we put keys in a bowl and shag each other's partners." It's just gross, gross. Anyway,
Such a husband and such a friend. Goodbye.
Dr. Seward's diary, kept in phonograph.
20.
Tricky. There's a few things I can do here, and I'm not sure which ones I should do. I mean, this Dr. Seward, of course, is working in an asylum, and he's writing these letters from his asylum. And we do have some sound effects of places that are like, I think we've got a prison. Yes. It's only 1 minute 40. But this is already taken from a much shorter one. See, 22 seconds. And I did the thing that I was talking about before, where you chop and change little bits and blah 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 to mix it up. You can see I can see that shape again there, you know, and sort of there, but it's all been mixed and chopped and changed and blah 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 blah, right? So let's do a little bit of that. 100, yep, fine. See, there are a few points during the recording where like you could hear a specific conversation going on and that sort of thing, some noise happening in the foreground that was very obvious that it was repeating, right? So you go through and you delete all those noises, and then you start mixing it up and that sort of thing. Right, you can hear there are some conversations, but you know, what I've done is yeah, I've only kept the ones that are sort of muddled and what? Why? Why for problem, please? I see. But it's okay? Yes. All right. Well, that's fine then. I don't mind that. God damn, this Japanese air, it is doing a number on my throat, I'll tell you. I don't know why. It's just the makeup of it is very different to what I'm used to in Australia. Okay, so writing, basically the same. That goes for everyone. The writing sound effect is going to get a real workout in this here book.
Of May.
Okay. And then, will we use the prison extended? I don't know. Let's give it a listen and see.
25th of May. Ebb tide in appetite.
Oh, my word. I do apologize.
Phonograph.
25th of May.
Can you imagine what it's been like trying to record with this air like this? It's been quite awful.
Seward's diary, kept in phonograph.
25th of May.
Graph.
25th of May. Ebb tide in appetite today. Cannot eat, cannot rest, so diary instead. Since my rebuff of yesterday, I have a sort of empty feeling. Nothing in the world seems of sufficient importance to be worth doing.
Ah. Now, Phonograph. Oh dear. I really doubt. Right, it's the other way around, isn't it? Vinyl. Vinyl. How the hell do you spell vinyl? Oh no, I was right the first time. Alright. Oh, please tell me. Oh, that's absolutely perfect. It's what I want. It's so quiet though. Let's check some other ones. That might be better. 45 RPM. We'll check that one. Oh, that's more active, isn't it? There's a bit more dust on that one. But it sounds very loopy. It's looped. What is that boop? Hello? Oh. I don't like that background hum. But I think that will be okay laid on under other stuff. I think the hum will be hidden by the prison ambience. Alright, so we're going to try this one. Are you going to have me start? Yes, you are. Ugh. This damn thing never remembers who I am. Really? Remember me, not that that's going to help. There we go. So we wanted that one. And it was 45, was it? Or 33. I think... Yeah, we decided on the 45 because the 33 sounded too looped. Okay, you think you're... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We like you very much, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so copy. Now, any white noise is incredibly easy to mix. You can just pick your spot. Listen to this. Right? You can't hear a damn thing. Because it's all white noise. You can't tell white noise from other white noise. That's what makes it white noise. Perfect. Perfect! Thank you. You can literally copy and paste this. There you go. For all the lazy people wanting to make super simple 10-hour videos, you slack bastards, you can just do this. Use white noise, then you'll be fine. You can click anywhere. It's all going to sound the same. Okay, so save me WAV, please. Not that it matters. Not for white noise. Sound effects. Technology, maybe? Record player blank. Blah, 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 blah. Now, Now, we got that thing. Oops, not things. No, we're being far more specific. There we go. Record player blank, because he's not writing. He's speaking into a what do they call it? Gramophone?
Your friend. Goodbye.
Dr. Seward's diary, kept in phonograph.
20.
Phonograph.
Diary, kept in phonograph.
25th of May. Ebb tide in appetite today. Cannot eat, cannot rest, so diary instead. Since my rebuff of yesterday, I have a sort of empty feeling. Nothing in the world seems of sufficient importance to be worth doing.
That hum is actually quite there, isn't it? But I think we might have a solution. Because white noise is not up here, is it? No, no, no. It's up here, rather. Not down there, it's up here.
Phonograph.
25th of May. Ebb tide in
Ah, there it is!
Cannot eat, cannot rest, so
Killed
diary
that
instead.
hum.
Since my rebuff of yesterday, I have a sort of empty...
Killed you!
Nothing in the world seems of sufficient
Sorry, got a little excited about that victory.
importance to be worth doing. As I knew that the only cure for this sort of thing was work, I went amongst the patients. I picked out one who has afforded me a study of much interest. He is so quaint that I am determined to understand him as well as I can. Today I seem to get nearer than ever before to the heart of his mystery. I question him more fully than I'd ever done, with a view to making
More
myself
fully,
the
yeah.
master of the facts of his hallucination. In my manner of doing it there was, I now see, something of cruelty. I seemed to wish to keep him to the point of his madness, a thing which I avoid with the patients as I would the mouth of hell. Memorandum. Under what circumstances would I not avoid the pit of hell? Omnia reme venelia sunt. Hell has its price. If there be anything behind this instinct, it will be valuable to trace it afterwards accurately, so I had better commence to do so. Therefore, R.M. Renfield, age 59, sanguine temperament, great physical strength, morbidly excitable, periods of gloom ending in some fixed idea which I cannot make out. I presume that the sanguine temperament itself and the disturbing influence end in a mentally accomplished finish. A possibly dangerous man, probably dangerous if unselfish. In selfish men, caution is as secure an armour for their foes as for themselves. What I think of on the point is, when self is the fixed points, the centripetal force is balanced with the centrifugal. When duty, a cause, etc., is the fixed point, the latter force is paramount, and only accident or a series of accidents can balance it.
Now, I almost want to radioize his recording. Let's... Alright, what I'm going to do... Here we go. We're going to get... We're going to take all this and we're going to use one of my favorite. It's one of the two reasons that I keep this this piece of software from 2007. That's how old this is. And the other reason has recently been superseded. So essentially, this sound effect is the only reason I keep this software around. That and, you know, because I like it. I used it for ages.
25th of May.
Oops, you can't hear that. It's not being played out of the headphones. That's alright. We're going to save it as a... an alternate. The complete radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Okay, no, not at all, not at all. Now, okay, so we'll take this. I'm going to go to the start here. And we're going to lay it underneath. There we go. Pull that back. It should be identical. And it's not quite identical. I messed with the timing a little bit. There we are. Okay, and then we'll mute this. We'll play and see if this sounds good or bad.
Kept in phonograph.
25th of May. Ebb tide in
Oh, I
appetite
do like
cannot
it.
eat, cannot rest, so diary instead. Since my rebuff
Right? Now, the original.
of yesterday, I have a sort of empty feeling. Nothing in the world seems of sufficient importance to be worth doing. As I knew that the only cure for this sort of thing was work, I went amongst the patients.
I do like it. What about both?
I picked out one who has afforded me a study of much
Ooh.
interest. He is so quaint that I am determined to understand him as well as I can. Today I seem to get nearer than ever before to the heart of his mystery. I question him more fully than I'd ever done, with a view to making myself master of the facts of his hallucination. In my manner of doing it there was, I now see, something of cruelty. I seemed to wish to keep him to the point of his madness, a thing which I avoid with the patients as I would the mouth of hell. Memorandum. Under what circumstances would I not avoid the pit of hell? Omnia reme venelia sunt. Hell has its price. If there be anything behind this instinct, it will be valuable to trace it afterwards accurately, so I had better commence to do so. Therefore, R.M. Renfield, age 59, sanguine temperament, great physical strength, morbidly excitable, periods of gloom ending in some fixed idea which I cannot make out.
I do
I
like
presume
it.
that the sanguine temperament itself and the disturbing influence end in a mentally accomplished finish. A possibly dangerous man, probably dangerous if unselfish. In selfish men, caution is as secure an armour for their foes as for themselves. What I think of on the point is, when self is the fixed points, the centripetal force is balanced with the centrifugal. When duty, a cause, etc., is the fixed point, the latter force is paramount, and only accident or a series of accidents can balance it.
Bit of an abrupt end to his first journal entry there, but that's okay.
Letter. Quincy P. Morris to Honorable Arthur Holmwood.
25 May. My dear Art,
See, this one's already been fixed as far as EQ is concerned. Don't have to adjust this.
we told yarns by the campfire in the prairies.
What are we supposed to do here?
Landing at the Marquesas.
I think we put him with Lucy, right? That's what we do. Here we go down here on the bayou, except it's not on the bayou. Out here on the bayou. A little bit of credence there. Because I get bored when I have to spend several seconds not doing the work. Born on the bayou. Except I wasn't, of course. I was born on a naval base, pretty much. No. Not both of you, just you, thank you.
Holmwood.
Oh my god. That's way too loud.
5 minutes. My dear Art, we told yarns by the campfire in the prairies, and dressed one another's wounds after trying a landing at the Marquesas, and drunk healths on the shore of Titicaca. There are more yarns to be told, and other wounds to be healed, and another health to be drunk. Won't you let this be at my campfire tomorrow night? I have no hesitation in asking you, as I know a certain lady is engaged to a certain dinner party, and that you are free. There will only be one other, our old pal at the Korea, Jack Seward. He's coming too, and we both want to mingle our weeps over the wine cup and to drink a health with all our hearts to the happiest man in all the wide world, who has won the noblest heart that God has made and best worth winning. We promise you a hearty welcome and a loving greeting, and a health as true as your own right hand. We shall both swear to leave you at home if you drink too deep to a certain pair of eyes. Come. Yours as ever and always, Quincy P. Morris.
Gink. 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 Stop you right away there. Now. Ah ha 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 ha. Because I know there's something I'm going to want here. Oh no. No, not electric typewriters, just a typewriter. I just want a typewriter. Bank ambience. No, I just want a typewriter. Oh no. Oh no. How does that sound? Oh, that could be okay, actually. Might be another case where if we kill the right bands and the EQ, actually, we're going to take you. Now I think if we go back one, kill that initial bit. Kill that. Start there. No. No bells. Come on, load it. No. No. Newsroom. If there's not someone yelling, "Copy, copy, gotcha, hard, ha," I'll be very disappointed with this one. Terrible. Okay. Oh, I'm so picky. Alright, here we go. Unfortunately, they're all just numbered. I think that is actually pretty good. No, no bells. No bells. Okay, we're going to have to go through and cut out any bells. Oh my god, how long does the ringing of that bell last? Don't worry, we're going to do some further mods to this. Another bell. No. No bells. No bells. No bells. I should get some sort of award for this work. For removing all the bells from this sound effect. Maybe I should get a Nobel Prize. Terrible. I make myself laugh. Hey, what else are you supposed to do when you're doing this sort of work all day? Now, I think, for a start, we're going to speed it up a little bit. We will use elastic, right? No, not pitch. Time factor. There we go. Try that. Okay. Okay, I like that. Technology, yeah, that could stay there as well. That's a fine place for that. Make it a WAV file. Ah, come on. A typewriter. On a typewriter, on a typewriter.
Telegram. Telegram from Arthur Holmwood to Quincy P. Morris. Quincy P. Morris.
Okay, it's a very brief sound effect here. Very, very brief.
Morris.
26th of May. Count me in, of course. I bear messages that will make both your ears tingle. Art.
Gadang, krang, and that's chapter 5 just about done. Isn't that amazing? Like, some chapters take me so long to do, but with this letter style, it's all going to be pretty easy, man.
Count me in, of course. I bear messages that will make both your ears tingle. Art.
Let's stretch that out a bit. I like that fading away in the background.
Art.
I know, not that long. That's too much.
Art.
No. No. It only sounded good because it was so minimal.
Art.
The wonderful theme music by the magnificent Jet, who is currently composing something for the other audiobook, which is currently in production, being Conan the Barbarian, Book 1, The People of the Black Circle. Marvelous. Probably just as racist and sexist as Dracula, but, you know, can't do a lot about that, unfortunately. Wow. There we go.
Chapter 5. Letter from Miss Mina Murray to Miss Lucy Westenra.
9 May. My dearest Lucy, forgive my long delay in writing, but I've been simply overwhelmed with work. The life of an assistant schoolmistress.
Come on now. I think we can do something. Let's see what we can do.
Is sometimes trying. I'm longing to be with you, and by the sea, where we can talk together freely and build our castles in the air. I've been working very hard lately, because I want to keep up with Jonathan's studies, and I've been practicing shorthand very assiduously. When we are married, I shall be able to be useful to
and he has an immense lunatic asylum all under his own care. Mr. Holmwood introduced him to me, and he called here to see us, and often comes now. I think he is one of the most of him. Dr. John Seward, the lunatic asylum man with the strong jaw. And the good forehead. Now, I must tell you beforehand that
With the lamps when you quit.
to harness at all yet, and save all.
The fella doesn't know.
For it was brave. No, I would if I were.
Well as I can. Today I seem to get nearer than ever before to the heart of his mystery. I question him more fully than I'd ever done, with a view to making myself master of the facts of his hallucination. In my manner of doing it there was, I now see, something of cruelty. I seemed to wish to keep him to the point of his madness, a thing which I avoid.
Number 3, until it
Was I now see something of cruelty. I seemed to wish to keep him to the point of his madness, a thing.
Be at my campfire tomorrow night.
26th of May. Count me in, of course. I bear messages that will make both your ears tingle. Art.
Oh, hell yes! Ah! Oh, you don't know how long this has been a stress on my heart. It's this has been huge. This has been huge. Let's go and have a quick look at my Patreon page. Black here, production blogs. That's Menem, took some time off, doing a different job. Alright, so that was July 11th, which was 3 weeks ago. Right? That's when I started. There we go. Nope, July 5th. Almost this entire month, I have been working on chapter 5. Right? A whole month. Dear gods. Dear gods. Man, I don't mind telling you, I almost have tears in my eyes right now. This is such a relief, because I really was worried that it was just not going to work, right? Having this multicast version of Dracula was not going to work. But I really want to do it like this. You know, this might sound ridiculous, and I might just be putting far too high a requirement on myself, but I wanted this to be my next masterpiece, right? I mean, you only have one masterpiece. The masterpiece technically is what you do to prove that you are now a master of your craft. It's, that is your masterpiece. That's what it means. I wanted to do something as good as 1984, which is the most popular audiobook that I've made. Brave New World comes second to that. It's about half as popular. Then I believe it's weirdly the island of Dr. Moreau, which is actually quite gratifying for me, since that's the first one that I ever made in my home studio after buying a microphone and taking it home. Because of course the first one I ever made was Treasure Island, and I did that in the radio booth at Radio Adelaide on their equipment, and that is rightfully not at all popular because it's not very good. The radio recording equipment is not very good because it doesn't have to be, right? The radio format has very low quality levels. That's how they can distribute that much data so clearly over such a massive range, right? They keep the bandwidth very low. The quality is very low, right? You hear, your average podcaster sitting in a shed has quality 10 or 100 times better than the radio format, and that's why Treasure Island sounds so crappy, right? But the Island of Dr. Moreau was the first one that I ever made to my own standards, Wow. An Animal Farm is coming up pretty close to that one, as is War of the Worlds. I like to think the quality of my products has been improving steadily as I have gone on. As you would expect, you get better at what you do, right? I hope so. I hope so. Anyway, that is it for today. We've been going for how long? Like an hour and a half, something like that. Yes. And we've done some good work. We cleaned up some audio files. We sourced some sound effects and modified them to our own specifications. And we have completed the admittedly very simple and easy sound effects mix of Chapter 5. And I'm going to gleefully send that to my cast today to say, hey, look, we've done some good stuff. This book is going to be good. Carry on with your good work, with perhaps a couple of technical pointers to improve the audio quality as we go on, or at least make my job easier. Great. So thank you very much for coming. I hope you have found this interesting and informative and all of that sort of stuff. And we will be back tomorrow, I believe, to start editing Chapter 6. Is that about right? Let's have a look. Or perhaps, yeah, there you go, Chapter 6. I don't know if that's all the files that we require. Let's have a quick look. Do we have everyone from Chapter 6? Chapter 6, Seawood and Mina, is that it? And a bit of Renfield and Lemon. Oh, God, lots of stuff. Okay, great. We are ready. We are prepared. Okay, excellent. Oh, Julia, hello! I was just saying how wonderful your music is. Excellent. You've joined us just at the end. We're about to say goodbye. We're listening to you in the background, of course. This is another one of your tracks. Which one is it? It's called Edit Close Track on my file here. So that's not much help, is it? That's a PNG, not that one. Here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, of course, it's my favorite. It's the most beautiful conversation of the 20th century. Yes. Excellent. Thanks for coming, Julia. Love you lots. You're my favorite. You know that. You're my favorite person. My favorite editor, music person. Yes. So good. Brilliant. Thank you for coming. Thank you everyone else who is listening or whatever. And we'll see you later for more work as I carry on the daily grind of putting out these things. Excellent. Have a great one. Bye bye bye. Love you lots. Mwah.